Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who decide. The difference between one day and day one lies in a single powerful choice, the decision to begin. When you commit to a clear purpose and align your thoughts with intentional action, your life begins to change. Dreams become reality the moment you stop hoping for the right time and declare that now is the time. Many people spend years waiting for ideal conditions, for the stars to align, for the fear to go away. But those perfect moments rarely come. Progress doesn't happen by chance. It begins with a decision that today is good enough to start. Purpose is what turns an ordinary day into the most important day of your life. When you define a goal so clearly that it ignites your emotions and sharpens your focus, hesitation begins to fade. Purpose gives birth to action, and action unlocks moment. The mind is a powerful force. When it's focused on delay, it becomes a master of excuses. It tells you that you're not ready, that more time is needed, that maybe tomorrow will feel easier. But when you fill your mind with clarity and conviction, it starts working for you instead of against you. Your thoughts shift from if to how, and from someday to right now. That's the internal transformation that sets everything in motion. Every great success story starts with someone who simply decided that they would no longer wait. They didn't need a perfect plan, unlimited resources, or complete confidence. They needed a reason, a purpose so strong that it outweighed their doubts. And once that purpose took root, it became impossible to remain still. That decision to begin in the face of fear, uncertainty, or imperfection is what separates those who dream, those who achieve. You don't have to be extraordinary to begin, but you must begin to become extraordinary. The commitment to start, however small, signals to your mind that you are serious. That this time it's not just an idea, it's a decision. A line in the sand. That shift marks the birth of change. From that moment forward, the path starts to reveal itself, not because everything is suddenly easy, but because you chose to move. There is no growth in delay. The power lies in choosing day one, in showing up, in deciding that your future starts not in a far-off moment, but in this one, right here, right now. Ideas are the birthplace of change. But action is what brings those ideas to life. Many people live with brilliant thoughts, vivid dreams, and exciting plans, yet they stay stuck in the same place year after year. The gap between vision and reality is bridged only by movement. Until you take a step forward, your goals remain fantasies floating in your mind. It is not enough to want it. You must be willing to work for it. The mind can imagine the most extraordinary life, but without consistent action, that life will always remain just out of reach. The desire for change, success, or fulfillment must be followed by motion. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Even the smallest step taken today has more power than the perfect plan that never begins. You don't need to know the full path to begin. You just need to trust that moving forward will reveal the way. So many wait for clarity, for certainty, for guarantees. But the truth is, clarity often comes from doing, not thinking. When you begin, you gain experience. When you act, you learn. Each decision, each small movement forward, bit by bit, your actions shape your environment, your habits, and eventually your life. Action is the great equalizer. It doesn't favor the most talented or the most confident. It favors the most committed. It's easy to overthink, to analyze every detail, to wait for everything to be perfect. But perfection is a trap. It convinces you that you need more time, more preparation, more of something before you begin. Meanwhile, life continues to move. And those who succeed aren't the ones who waited until they felt ready. They're the ones who got tired of waiting. They took imperfect action and adjusted along the way. There is no magic moment when everything aligns. The magic is in momentum. Once you take that first step, something shifts within you. You prove to yourself that you're capable. that you don't need permission, that you can start scared, uncertain, and unprepared and still make progress. Every small action becomes a vote for the person you want to become. Each moment you show up for your goal adds weight to your vision. Your dreams are waiting, but they can't move on their own. You are the force that brings them to life. And the sooner you act, the sooner you create. Momentum begins with a decision, but it's sustained by repeated action. There's no need to wait another moment. The life you want won't come from thought alone. It will come from the courage to begin and the discipline to keep going. Fear has a clever way of disguising itself as logic. It whispers that now isn't the right time, that you're not quite ready, that failure is too risky. It convinces you to delay, to overthink, to postpone your dreams with promises of later. But fear is not a guardian of truth, it's a gatekeeper of growth. And the only way to silence it is through action. By doing the very thing it tells you not to, you weaken its power and strengthen your own. Everyone experiences fear. The difference lies in how it's handled. Some allow fear to become the ruler of their decisions, while others see it as a signal to lean in. Fear often shows up right before something meaningful. It appears when you're on the edge of change, when you're about to step out of your comfort zone, when you're inching closer to a life aligned with your highest potential. And that's not a coincidence. It's confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. When you let fear dictate your choices, you stay in a cycle of hesitation. Days turn into weeks and weeks into years, all because fear told you to wait. But waiting does not eliminate fear. It only strengthens its grip. The more you avoid, the more power you give it. On the other hand, every time you face fear, even in small ways, you take that power back. You become stronger, braver, more capable of handling what lies ahead. The truth is, fear will never disappear completely, and it doesn't need to. You don't need to be fearless to start. You just need to move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in its presence. It's the quiet decision to choose growth over comfort, to risk discomfort for the sake of becoming more. Most people don't fail because they tried and fell short. They fail because they never tried at all. Fear talks them out of even beginning. But the people who rise in life are those who hear the fear and keep going. They know that doubt is natural, but progress is earned. They see failure not as a final destination, but as a stepping stone. If fear is the wall standing between you and your dreams, then action is the hammer that breaks it down. One bold step forward creates momentum, and that momentum carries you to places fear told you were impossible. You don't have to wait to be fearless. You just have to choose not to be ruled by fear. Every day presents a choice to stay where you are or to move one step closer to where you want to be. The truth is, life isn't transformed by grand gestures or sudden breakthroughs. It's shaped by the quiet, consistent decisions you make daily. Success doesn't happen eventually. It's built one choice at a time. The life you dream of isn't waiting for you in the distant future. It's being created right now through the actions you take or the ones you avoid. Many people fall into the trap of believing that change begins when circumstances improve or when motivation strikes, but waiting for a perfect moment is like chasing a mirage. Progress starts when you stop waiting for the right time and start making time right. It's the seemingly small habits repeated with intention that create massive results over time. When you decide that today is worth investing in, you stop postponing your growth. Discipline is a quiet engine that moves you forward. Not every day will feel exciting. Not every step will be easy, but commitment isn't about doing what you feel like. It's about doing what you said you would, especially when it's difficult. That's where transformation lives, in the daily decision to show up for your goals, your growth, and your values. You don't rise because you feel like it. You rise because you've chosen to. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. 1 hour of work every day will always beat 10 hours of effort once a month. Momentum is built into grind, into repetition, in the days when no one is watching and there's no applause. But those are the days that count the most. because they reflect your true commitment. When you show up for your future without external validation, you plant seeds that will eventually bloom. You have more control over your destiny than you think. Every time you choose progress over procrastination, action over avoidance, growth over comfort, you reshape your path. It may not be obvious right away, but over time, those small decisions add up to a life that looks and feels radically different. The difference between one day and day one is found in what you do with today. It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about honoring today as the foundation of everything you want to build. The sooner you see each day as a building block, the sooner you begin to create a life aligned with your purpose. The clock isn't your enemy, it's your opportunity. What you do with this day decides who you become. There comes a moment in every journey where the decision must be made. Continue to wait for the right time, or declare that today is the beginning. That moment is not marked by fireworks or perfect conditions. It's often quiet, subtle, and deeply personal. But it's powerful. It's the moment when you stop deferring your dreams and start walking toward them with conviction. That shift from one day to day one is the turning point of transformation. Too often, people spend their lives on the sidelines, watching opportunities pass by, weighed down by fear, self-doubt, or the illusion of someday. They convince themselves that things will change when circumstances are better, when the fear subsides, or when they feel more ready. But life doesn't wait. Growth doesn't wait. Purpose doesn't wait. The truth is, no one feels entirely ready to start something. Starting is what makes you ready. Action is what builds strength. Movement is what reveals direction. The first step doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to be real. It might be messy. It might be slow. It might be uncertain. But it's a step, and that step changes everything. Each time you move forward, even when it's uncomfortable or unclear, you create momentum, and momentum is where confidence begins. You don't need to see the entire stairs to take the first step. You just need enough courage to place your foot on that first rung. It's easy to underestimate the power of a single day, but what you choose today can set the tone for your entire future. The conversations you have with yourself, the promises you keep, the discipline you honor, all of it matters, because success isn't just built in the spotlight. It's created in the quiet moments where you choose to show up when no one else is watching. It's born in the decision to be consistent when it would be easier to quit. The beautiful thing about life is that every morning gives you another chance to start again, not in the shadow of yesterday's failures, but with the wisdom you've gained from them. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is the decision to act today. So take a breath, gather your strength, and choose to start. Choose to show up for yourself. Choose to write your story, one page at a time, beginning now. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfection. You've waited long enough. Let today be more than just another day. Let it be day one.